Okay, this is a ebell swing review, not a golf swing review, but somebody sent me a picture, a video rather, of their ebell swing and asked, am I using it correctly? And, you know, the difference between getting all the way there and being kind of correct is subtle to see and feel, but once you feel the difference, you'll get it. And it usually just takes a few days, but there's ways to get there. So what most people will do when you pick this up is they'll kind of shift and turn at the same time. It'll be a very synchronized swing. So what you're trying to learn is to be asynchronous, which is to basically lead with the lower body, and that looks like this. So it's a subtle difference, right? If I do this, I'm shifting and turning at the same time, which means my center is moving as I rotate, and that's not what you want for two reasons. It's not as powerful, and it's not as reliable in terms of location. So if I can basically go back, come back to center, then rotate, now I've found a fixed spot to rotate from, which means I have reliability. So if you, in his case, he said my miss is a pull. A pull can be one of two things. I see two things he's doing. The first one being get the sequencing right. So you find your location, and then if you're pulling from that location, you may not have found the right location. But at any rate, find your location. So if I shift, toss back, come here, then go. One way to feel it is attempt to rotate through as late as you possibly can, which means if I toss this back and then do it, I'm automatically doing this just to delay the rotation, and then I rotate from a spot. It also gets me to lower down, which adds speed and makes me accelerate better through the ball. So toss back, wait for it. That's a good move to work on. Other thing to watch, hard to say from the video, but it looks a little bit like this to me, is that the swing is maybe a little more on plane and then going a little flat, just a little bit flat. So if you've got a pull can be go a little flat, close the face a little bit. Face and path both go a little bit that way. So work on finishing more this way, if that makes sense. So the difference between those two is you'll notice now on tour, that kind of finish used to be somewhat more popular, but now almost everybody finishes this way. Almost everybody comes through somewhat like this, and the reason is it stabilizes the face. Face isn't flipping over. So this way, getting this shoulder more under, that's the swing move that's equivalent to keeping your bell more vertical. And he said his back was sore, and that's also a sign. It shouldn't be, despite this being very heavy, you should figure out a way to swing it that it isn't an extraordinary amount of work. When people are stronger, they tend to use their upper body, and that's very hard to do for very long. So least amount of effort, swing it by basically just, here's another way to look at it. If you just, you'll get the sequence by doing this. If I just step and go like this, that's the sequence. Transfer, swing, transfer, swing, transfer, swing. That's the timing of the thing. So work on that, and then when you get to swinging your club, you got to go back and forth and really pay attention. Am I really doing that? Because it's very, once you get it with the ebell, becomes pretty instinctive. You just want to swing that way. It's harder to get yourself to really transfer that weight and then rotate with the club. That takes a sort of concerted effort. Look at yourself on video, see if you're really doing it. So it's transfer, then rotate like that. So you're going to get more power, but also you're going to get a more reliable strike because you've gotten to a fixed place and then you're rotating from there.